Hey, I'm Matt Schlachter, Deputy County Manager for Columbia County, and we'd like to take an opportunity to talk about some of our accomplishments of 2024 and talk about some of our vision for 2025. And today we're going to start out with Byron Sullivan out here on Lewiston Road. So Byron, we're standing in the middle of Diverging Diamond. So tell us about the project out here on Lewiston Road.
Well, this is the first diverging diamond in the Augusta area, and it's been a godsend. It's a great flow for the interstate and the main line of Lewiston Road. We used to have a lot of backup traffic out here. We don't have no more backup traffic. It flows great, and it's just been a great location to work for the DDI.
Great. So when this project started, the bridge was I believe 4 lanes, 2 lanes each direction, but Lewiston Road was not. It was 1 lane each direction. So tell us about what Lewiston Road looks like now.
Well, it's 2 lanes on each side going north and south, and you got your left turn lanes and your decel lanes, and all your intersections has got great improvement. You got a lot of dual lefts on your major intersections, William Few and Columbia Road, and it's just been a great flow, and it's a great safety design too, with the divided highway in the middle. We got sidewalks on both sides, and you got a lot of pedestrians out here walking them. You can see them during the day and the afternoon. And we got a lot of compliments on the project of sidewalks and just the project in general.
How do we fund this project, Byron?
This is a TIA project, and it's been funded through them, and the project is approximately about a $22 million project. $22
million. It's big money. So we started asking for this project back in, I believe, 2010 when we had our first TIA vote. So that TIA vote, again, happened back in 2010 is when we asked the public to support this project through the TIA program. And the voting majority of the region said yes, and so now we have this TIA project, and this is a result of the support of the citizens for TIA. So thank you for support. It's a godsend to have that kind of program to handle traffic issues that we have, to put projects like this Diverging Diamond in place, to add sidewalks, to add capacity, to add throughput. So what else about the project? Anything else we want to talk about, Byron, on the project?
I think in general, it's just been great for the traffic flow of Columbia County. It's just been a great improvement.
So Byron, thank you for telling us a little bit about Lewiston Road. So we're off to the next one. We'll see you there. Out here at Flowing Wells Road, Wheeler Road, Mason McKnight Jr. intersection. I'm with Brian Harrington with our road construction department. We've been working on this project for a few years now. Brian, why don't you tell us a little bit about what we did here?
Well, we didn't have the center turn lane and didn't have a lot of decel lanes where traffic could get out of the way where people making their turns. We added lanes on Mason McKnight and on Wheeler just to accommodate the traffic and make the traffic flow a lot better.
How does putting a center turn lane in help traffic flow? Because we didn't add additional through lanes. So same number of through lanes, but we added that center turn lane. What does that do for us?
It let the traffic that is turning get out of that through lane and get over in the middle to open up the through lane so the traffic can keep flowing as they were waiting to make their left turn. It just gives them a place of refuge to sit and wait before they make their turn.
We put our right turns in, left turn lanes in. Of course, this intersection looks completely different. What all did we do here? We did a lot more than 1 turn lane.
We added the left turn lane here and a right turn lane on that side, and the through lanes, now we have 2 instead of 1.
Gotcha. You got a couple extra through lanes coming off of Mason McKnight Jr. also as well?
Yep.
So our stage 1 was utilities, which you weren't here for that part of the project. So we tried to get some of the utilities out of the way. So obviously we had to relocate water and sewer and storm. And you have to do all that while keeping all of your water and your sewer and your storm active, right? So we couldn't just go close all the water lines, build new ones and be happy. We had to keep everything functional. So it's hard to build everything exactly as shown on paper, so we have to make adjustments as we're building. That's where you come into play, right? And that's some of your key points of you being out here, is to make sure that we're making adjustments on the fly, keep this project moving. So as we're building this, obviously we found things we weren't aware of during design. So tell us about how you adjusted during construction to solve the problems that were not satisfied during design.
Well, one of the big things was down at Augusta Pratt where the storm was supposed to go, and they couldn't put it there because of other things that were in the way. We ended up having to go back behind Augusta Prep and build a storm pond, a storm ditch to get the water going where we need it to, and then come back and redesign the storm sewer to accommodate where everything was.
So working around real life scenarios, so you find things, you have to adjust on the fly, you have to redesign as you're going. That's tough to do. Another coordination problem is people live on this road. You got to keep access to their houses. So how did you do that? How do you widen a road in front of somebody's house and still get them in and out of their driveway every day?
Well, we had to keep communications with every homeowner and occupant of the houses to be sure we didn't block their driveway, whatever coming in and out, and only work with a limited number of driveways each day. So that way, if we had to run back and open one for somebody, we could be sure they had access to get in and out.
So building this project, you had to keep traffic flowing. You had to keep people getting in and out of their houses. You had to keep all the utilities going, and you had to build a road all at the same time.
In the middle of 2 schools getting in and out every day.
Very good point. 2 schools. So every day you had parents dropping kids off, and every day you had parents picking kids up.
And
2 schools.
And it was 2 known times that were going to be very congested for an hour and a half, 2 hours out of the day, in the morning and in the afternoon every day. It's just going to be a standstill.
It's tough to work at night because, like we mentioned, people do live here, so they didn't want dump trucks and motor graders and backhoes in their front yard running in the middle of the night. So you had limited daytime hours. You got people living in their houses, so they don't want people working in front of them in the middle of the night, making noise with excavators and dump trucks and motor graders.
Backup beepers.
Backup alarms. You got 2 schools that are putting kids in school and letting kids out of school. You got utilities you got to work around, so all that results in a project that takes time.
Yeah, and we did end up paving some at night. We communicated with the residents, let them know that the nights that we were going to be out here paving, and by that point they were all happy to see whatever it takes to get it done, let's go. And so it worked out well at night doing the paving.
So overall, when the project was finished, we ended up with right turn lanes, we ended up with left turn lanes, we ended up with sidewalks on both sides of the road to connect these homeowners to the schools and to shopping facilities such as the ones we're around now. Additional capacity. We had mast arms now, much bigger intersections. I know we're at the other end, but on the far end down here, we have Columbia Road intersection. That intersection is a lot different. We have dual left turn lanes.
We realigned it with the section of Columbia Road across the road to Flowing Wells extension between the car lots. It aligned it a lot better so you're not going in at such an angle.
It helps with traffic flow. I'm sure we've probably seen a reduction in accidents out there. I know prior to this project, we had a lot of accidents out there because of people trying to figure out what lane they were supposed to be in. We got the dual left turn lanes down there if you're headed northbound, we didn't have before. That's really flowing traffic a lot better than we did beforehand. We've got a better alignment. We've got right turn lanes down there as well. We've got mast arms, so we don't have the cables across the road that we do now, similar to what we have here. So overall, a lot of improvements to that intersection as well.
And the alignment improved the sight distance approaching the intersection too for everybody coming from every direction.
So Brian, this project was funded through our T-SPLOST program. This was part of T-SPLOST 1, so I believe it was about a $20 million project.
Yep.
$20 million project. So I know it was long, it was tedious, it was tough to live through, and now we have a really good project. We're flowing traffic, it's safer. This is a very beneficial project to Columbia County. I know it took a while, it was a very tedious project. Thank you to the residents that lived through this. Your support was tremendous. Thank you for working with our staff. Thank you for just bearing with us as we went through this. This was a T-SPLOST project, so thank you to our citizens for supporting T-SPLOST. Without that program, projects like this wouldn't happen. So continue to support the T-SPLOST. Thanks again for your support. We'll look forward to seeing you in the next one. Hey, we're out here on Furious Ferry Road. This is Kelly McDaniel. Kelly, you've been out here on Furious Ferry Road for quite a while now. Tell us what you got going on.
Yeah, we've been out here since June of 21, and right now we're working from Evans to Locks, pretty much all the way to Southern Pines, various other areas past Hardy McManus. Paving's going on right now, the culvert's going on. We're trying to make some progress, and I think that it's coming along pretty good, especially after the storm that we just had encountered.
Right. So we had a 2-lane road. Now what are we going to have when you're done?
You'll have a 10-foot multi-use path on one side and a 6-foot or 5-foot sidewalk on the other, and that will be all the way to Hardy McManus Road. You're going to have 2 lanes both directions and a turn lane in the middle, and you'll have a 10-foot multi-use path on one side and a 5-foot sidewalk on the other with bike lanes also. And
I believe we're going to light the pathway, the multi-use path?
Yes, it'll be fully lit.
Fully lit, so we'll be able to use it at night. And from what I understand, we're doing a new program with Georgia Power on those lights where those lights will actually dim at a certain time at night, and as people are using it, they'll get brighter. So that's a new way of conserving power and keeping the path usable at night. So it's a pretty good idea.
And safer also.
So what are some of the problems you've experienced so far during this project?
Most of our problems have come from utilities, utility relocations, unforeseen utilities that we have run into, and that's kind of what's really stalled this job a little bit more than usual.
So trying to keep existing utilities functional while building a whole new set of utilities.
That's correct.
So we're right here at the intersection of Mulliken Road, North Bel Air Road. I see you've got mast arms up. Are we doing mast arms at all of our signals?
Yes, we are.
So what's the benefit of the mast arms over a traditional strain pole?
Well, the mast arm poles, they give you a better visual, and they also are easier to service. And we also have one that's going up at the fire station, and it gives them more of a control of being able to get in and out on emergency circumstances.
I got you. So behind us we have the intersection of Hardy McManus and Furious Ferry.
Yes.
Signal, roundabout, what are you doing here?
We're doing a roundabout.
Doing a roundabout. So we're going to have all the existing traffic will be able to flow without having to worry about left turns impeding on each other. So it'll be a lot safer. Roundabouts are definitely safer, a lot less conflict points.
Yeah.
We'll be able to expand that in the future for growth as if growth occurs.
That is correct.
So Kelly, this is a TIA project, correct?
It is.
So funded by TIA Collections. I think our overall budget was close to $50 million, buying right away and design.
That's correct.
So overall about a $50 million project. So again, funded through T-SPLOST. So again, funded by the support of Columbia County citizens. Thank you for supporting T-SPLOST. It's able to provide projects like this to the community by supporting T-SPLOST. So anything else we need to know about this project, Kelly? When are we going to wrap it up?
We're hoping that we can wrap it up by the end of 25 or the beginning of 26. That's what we're trying for.
So the end is getting close. It's been tough. It's been hard. We appreciate your support on this project as well. I know it's aggravating, but we got to break eggs to make omelets. Today I'm out here with Tim Holloway, Mike Whitaker, Mark Story. Tim's our manager for our Roads and Bridges Department. Mike's our Special Projects Crew manager, and Mark is our Operations manager. And I wanted to have a talk with you guys today about what all y'all do for the county. So right now we're standing in a dog park at Martinez Park, and this is one of the projects y'all actually built. Tell us about it.
We did. We was given the task when we come out here to look at this park, to build the park. Mike went back to the office, kind of sat down, we drawed it out on some paper, got all the scales like we wanted, and then we come out here with the equipment and took it off the paper, made it happen out here. And the dog park's what it is today. Did all the grading. It was a team effort. Rec department come out here and put all the fencing up and stuff, and we did all the grassing and all. So.
Yeah, a little team effort. So the rec departments are end users, so they had an idea what they wanted, and they turned to y'all to implement it for them.
They did.
What else y'all doing for us? I know y'all did a bunch of sidewalk work out at Riverwood.
We did, out there at General Woods. We connected the middle school and the high school and their multi-use trail out there with a sidewalk, run it up through the, kind of wind it up through the woods up and made a beautiful sidewalk project up there. Helped the kids getting back and forth to school there at Greenbrier.
Yeah, big improvement out there. So
big improvement.
Safety concern with the parents out there with their kids walking beside the road. So now they're off the road on the safe sidewalk getting to school. I know y'all worked hard out on Smith Crawford doing some drainage stuff for us. That's the other thing that y'all tackle for the county is outside of the stormwater area, y'all are responsible for drainage. So what kind of things y'all doing out there?
We put in a ditch out there that relieved some of the water running down on a property owner out there. That was a big help to him. We diverted it back through a ditch down to the property line and help those property owners out there where their water was actually running across their property. Put it in a ditch section and run it down between two properties out there.
Improve the drainage on the whole scheme of things out there, roadway and offsite.
Well, Tim, I know you got a very diverse team. You have the ability to do things on a maintenance type schedule where you got your potholes, your grass cutting, but you got special projects where you get to do a variety of a lot of stuff, and we depend on y'all to do a lot of out-of-the-box type thinking projects. And one of the ones we did was some speed humps behind the government complex. We had some traffic issues, and so we got y'all out there. Tell us about that project.
They overlaid, they come in and paved Faircloth Drive, and then they asked us to put speed tables in. Well, they wanted them made out of concrete, built out of concrete. So we got in there and tore all that out, the areas, and designed concrete speed tables in there. That's what we have today, is those concrete speed tables. We never made any out of concrete. So
last year we put a bid out to do some irrigation, some beautification on Washington Road, and then we asked y'all to step in and kind of expand that project. We ended up buying the old Garner's car lot, so now county-owned piece of property, and we asked y'all to do that, and then we handed y'all that project. So tell us about the beautification out there, what it involved.
Our special project teams, Mike's team and all, once y'all purchased the property, we come in, had the old trailer moved out, and Mike and them graded that lot off, got it ready for grassing. I think our contractor come in and planted the trees and did the grassing and all there. And now we have a landscaping team that stays down there every day, keeping the trash picked up, the brush and all trimmed, and keeping the grass and all cut on it.
And that's from the county line all the way to
Columbia Road.
Yeah,
to
so
Columbia
it's a
Road.
good
Yep.
stretch.
Yep.
So again, thinking outside the box, we utilized y'all on a major road construction project. So as y'all are aware, we're designing and soon to be putting out to bid Harding McManus Road. And one of the requirements is to remove a lot of stuff off the right of way that we purchased. So instead of putting that out to bid, we actually called Roads and Bridges and said, hey, can you help us? Tell us what all you did for us out there.
That's kind of one of the first times we've been involved in a big project like that. We had a crew come in and remove all the structures, marquee signs, the columns that was built in these, at the entrance to these subdivisions down through there. And a lot of the residents had brick head walls that we removed. So that was it started there at Highway 28 and went all the way down to where Harding McManus Road and William Few connect right there. That was about a month and a half, 2-month project there, getting all that cleaned up.
So it's a great way to utilize staff that we already have here, working every day to do something versus putting out to bid. So again, thinking outside the box, utilizing the talents that your team has to take projects that we would have to normally bid out, and we can bring those in-house, we can do them faster, we can do them cheaper, we can have more control over what's going on. So I do appreciate everything you guys are doing. You know, Mark, you guys are doing a great job of keeping our right-of-ways looking good, keeping the roads looking good, our grass cut on the side of the roads. Mike, your special projects team coming out and doing things like this, creating projects that our citizens come out and enjoys. Tim, you got a great team. We appreciate everything you do. We're looking forward to a great 2025 as well. So now I'm out here with Kyle Titus. He's the Director of Engineering Services. We want to talk about what we got planned for the future. So Kyle, we're currently at Harding McManus Road. So tell us what you got going on here.
Sure, so Harding McManus Road, I know a lot of residents have been curious about this road. They've heard about it in the TIA and the upcoming TIA 2 project list. It's a 5-mile stretch of Harding McManus. We're going to widen from Furious Ferry all the way to William View Parkway. It's currently 2 lanes, 1 lane in each direction, and we're going to make it 3 lanes. It's going to have a 2-way center turn lane. It's also going to have 3 roundabouts, one at Dolphin Way, one at Halele Farm, and also one at Aylesbury. So we're excited about this project. It's going to also have a 5-foot sidewalk on the north and a 10-foot multi-use path on the south. And it's going to be under construction, we hope, right after Masters of this year. And it's going to be about a 5-year project. So we're asking now for patience as we get underway.
To 5 years of actual construction time. Is that because of the roundabouts? Those typically delay construction. They're hard to build.
Yeah, so it's a lot of clearing to do. It's a lot of utility relocation. So like some of our other projects, you'll see all the work going on, but you don't see a lot of road building, so to speak. But there will be utility relocations going on for a couple of years, and then they'll actually start constructing the road. So that's when you'll see the road start coming out of the ground in about 3 years. And it's a long road. It's a 3-mile stretch. It's going to take a while, but it's again, it's 3 roundabouts, and you're right. The roundabouts take a little longer to construct with traffic control.
So Kyle, tell us, why did you decide to go with roundabouts those 3 locations?
So the good thing about roundabouts is they're highly efficient and they're a lot safer because you remove the left turn conflict. So traffic's able to enter, there's less conflicts, there's less delays, so they just work a lot better moving traffic volume, and they're much more safe.
So tell us what the look of the road is going to be. I know we're widening it, but tell us again, lanes each direction.
Sure. So it'll still be 1 lane in each direction, 1 lane westbound, 1 lane eastbound. There'll be a 2-way left turn center median throughout, and there'll be select right turn lanes at the high volume intersections with the neighborhoods.
We do have to cross the railroad track as well, so tell us about that.
So the big thing with the railroad track CSX right west of Dolphin Way is the construction's going to be take a little longer because we have to meet railroad specifications. And the only change you'll really see is the multi-use path on the south of the road is going to taper down from 10 foot to 5 foot and go through what they call a Z-gate or a switchback. And it's basically to make sure pedestrians stop, pay attention to what they're doing when they're crossing that road.
We want to be safe when we're going across railroad
sir.
tracks. I know we had to design it. We had to buy some right-of-way. We almost done with that?
Yeah, so the design's complete. The right-of-way just got certified, which is a process that we have to go through with federal funding. When federal funding is involved, it just got certified, so we're actually able to let the project now for construction. So we'll advertise in the coming weeks, and again, hope to let and be under construction by shortly after Masters.
Talk to us about Horizon South. You recently got that one under construction.
Yes, sir. So Horizon South's been under construction for a year and a half or so. It's a $22 million construction contract. It's widening from south of I-20 along Horizon South all the way to Wrightsboro Road in Grovetown. We're taking that road from 2 lanes to 5 lanes or 4 lanes with the center median. It's going to look just like Lewiston does north of I-20, but we're going to take it all the way to Wrightsboro Road. Again, it's a $22 million construction contract, and we have about 2 years or so left on that project.
I got you. So when do we start that project, or start design?
We started design around 2016, 2017, and just let it for construction in 2022. So that goes to say how long these design processes take, how long the right-of-way acquisition phases take, utility relocations after that. So yeah, they take a while to get underway. There's a lot that goes into them, but we're finally underway on that one and making good progress.
How much longer do we think it'll take before we actually get traffic flowing on that road?
Probably about a year and a half before we start opening up lanes. It'll be 2 southbound lanes, 2 northbound lanes, but it'll probably be another 6 months, 18 months beyond that with weather delays to get it fully open and fully closed out with the contractor.
All right, and you got Hereford Farm Road. What kind of money we're spending there?
Hereford Farm Road's still a year and a half, 2 years out on design, but right now we're looking at 45 to 50 million on that. That's going to be a big one. And that's after the design phases and the right-of-way phases. So you can look at another 10 to 15 for all of that before each project starts.
You mentioned earlier we're working on Hereford Farm. You're in right-of-way acquisition right now?
Yes, sir. We're just beyond halfway on the right-of-way acquisition. I think we have 267, 270 parcels or something that we have to acquire right-of-way on. And we're just beyond halfway there, so still probably 18 months or so before we're wrapped up on the right-of-way acquisition. We're able to certify that, and we can actually let the project for construction.
All right, so when you actually get out to build the project, what's it going to look like?
So Hereford Farm Road it's a 5.5 mile stretch of road. It's going to be from Bel Air Road just beyond Lake Jean, a half mile or so. It's going to be 3 lanes. We're going from 2 lanes to 3 lanes. And then once you pass Lake Jean, it's going to open up to 4 lanes with a concrete median. And it'll be 4 lanes all the way down to Lewiston Road at Columbia, where it ties in now.
So tell us why there's a change in design when we get to the Lake Jean area, from Lake Jean to Bel Air.
There are a lot of environmentally sensitive areas and archaeological areas in that little stretch, and being that we're right there at the intersection with Bel Air Road, there's a lot of traffic that's unloading on Bel Air. We don't see the volume of traffic needed to push the full 4-lane section yet, and we think that the 3-lane section will suffice for the next 15 to 20 years.
So when you start designing these projects, obviously you got to get some traffic studies. So is DOT, who's got some oversight on this project, does DOT have influence over what we can build out there based on traffic volumes and predictions?
We like to use DOT standards because they've been around a long time. They're always under scrutiny, and they're typically very up to date with common engineering practices. But we don't have to follow DOT's on standards on Hereford Farm Road because it is a county route. That said, there is a funding component to where some of the funds originally were federally funded. So we have to work through that process to make sure we're crossing our T's and dotting our I's.
Multi-use trail, sidewalks, anything other for the pedestrians out there?
There will be sidewalks on both sides all the way from Bel Air Road to Columbia Road.
I got you. Same with Horizon South?
Yes, sir.
And you've already got them on Lewiston Road?
Yes, that's correct.
So when we get Hereford Farm and Lewiston's already built and Horizon South's finished, when we get all 3 of those projects, Hereford Farm, Horizon South, Lewiston, you'll have a sidewalk network from Grovetown all the way to Evans.
And that's the goal when we make these large investments like each of these projects we've been discussing. We're not just building it for the folks in cars and trucks. We're also trying to look out for the pedestrians as well.
Well, Kyle, I appreciate that information. So as you can see, we got a lot of stuff that's already been happening on this road, but a lot more to come. We're going to start making that road construction happen. Going to be a 5-year process to get those 3 miles built. So Again, Kyle, thank you for your hard work on this. We look forward to seeing the finished product. I'm out here with Stacy Gordon, Director of our Water Utility Services. Stacy, tell us a little bit where we're at today.
We're at our Jim Blanchard Water Treatment Plant. This is our largest plant in the county.
And this is where you make drinking water.
Yes, correct.
All right, so you've been doing some improvements out here recently. Tell us about some of the improvements you've made.
Yeah, we recently did a UV AOP treatment project. It's about a $13 million project. We were trying to treat for taste and odor because we were having algae blooms in the lake that cause your water to smell a little musty, taste a little funny. But we didn't want to spend the money just to treat for that. So we researched several different projects, found out 3 different treatment processes and selected one. So we have a UV, hydrogen peroxide treatment process that will treat for taste and odor, but it also treats for many emerging contaminants that are on the watch list with the EPA.
I gotcha. So the method you chose, it took us a while to get EPD to permit it. Why did it take so long?
It's the first in the state of Georgia, so it was something we had to kind of train them on. They weren't familiar with the process. This will be the second one in the southeast that's been built, but it is a very common treatment process in the United States, primarily in the northeast and west. It's also very common in Europe, treatment process.
One thing you said is it's not just going to do the things we've identified today, but it's getting ahead of the curve for things that may come in the future, guidelines.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's hopefully set us up for the future.
We're getting ahead of the curve. We're putting in things today that are going to help us prepare for the future without having to make more improvements in the future. So overall, it's more than just a taste and odor thing. It's getting us ready for what's to come.
That's correct.
I got you. What did it cost us to do this?
$13 million.
$13 million. And how many gallons a day are we producing at this plant?
We can produce up to 45.9 million.
So about right at 46 million at this plant. Overall, your system can do?
About roughly 54 million gallons.
54 million of drinking water a day. Our peak day, hot summer day, no rain?
About 36 million.
So with the improvements you've made, you got about 54 million gallons of capacity. We're not using that much, so you're set up for the future. You've got cutting edge technology to make sure we're able to treat things that may come in the future that we don't have to treat today. Anything else you want to tell us about the system?
One thing we have learned from a lot of our places in the Northeast, when you do get these algae blooms on occasion, and you've seen like places like Toledo where 400,000 people back in, I believe it was 2011, were without water. Well, this will treat for that. So we can ramp our system up, have it operational, and never be without water. So we are forward thinking in setting this process up.
So speaking of not being without water, if an algae bloom were to occur, during the hurricane, we didn't have to shut down, so you were able to keep your system up and running the entire time we were without shore power. Tell us how you did that.
Tough. It was not an easy process. That the whole team came together, including departments outside the water utility or divisions. Roads and bridges was a huge help to keeping the roads clear so we can actually get access to our different facilities, because that morning of, started getting phone calls probably a little before 6. We didn't have a single lift station, pumping station, elevated water tank, water plant, wastewater plant that had power. Georgia Power was completely knocked out to all our facilities, and we were running off generator, and it was very tough. We had our generator down at our raw water pump station, not transfer power, so we were a little worried about maintaining service to the county, but Roads and Bridges came through. Our conveyance group started clearing roads, and they were able to work together and get access so we could transfer that generator on and begin to treat water again here at the plant, because for several hours we were just pumping off our clear wells and supplying water to the county. So it was difficult keeping generators fueled, but the county came together as a team and did a phenomenal job to maintain water to all our citizens.
I completely agree. Yeah, just so I know, we got calls from outside of the county as well. Some hospitals were calling us asking for help keeping the hospitals operational. I believe we were pumping water to our neighbors in Richmond County to help keep them flowing as much as we could. So we had a challenge. So we were only able to produce 15 or 16 million gallons at a time for a few days until all that muddy water was able to move past our intake, and we were able to get some cleaner water that was easier to treat. So we had a few nerve-wracking moments, I guess I'd say, during the storm, but Fort Gordon was sending water buffaloes over for us to fill up. We have a filling station over there on William Few. Doctors Hospital was sending water buffaloes, and those are just big tanker trucks to haul water. We were able to fill several of those up and kind of keep them water so they could replace chiller water so they could keep their air conditions cool.
So yeah, there was a huge effort to helping our neighbors also.
Well, Stacy, we thank you for your hard work that you and your division do. Thanks for keeping the water on for us. Thanks for everything that you do to make our community great. I'm with Paul Scarberry, who's our Development Services Director, and I'm also talking with Scott Sterling, who's our Planning Services Director. So, guys, we've had a fun, busy year. So, Scott, why don't you tell us a little bit about the planning side? What kind of new developments have you seen this year, and what can we look forward to in the future?
Yeah, we've had a couple of new developments come in this year. We had Branch Springs, which is a planned unit development, a little bit of commercial, number of different residential uses in there. And then adjacent to it is also some more commercial and a little bit of industrial. So a little bit of everything in that development. We've had a number of revisions to some of our existing single-family developments. Number of variance requests, change of height of a sign, or whether that's a setback here or there, fences. We've had a number of those this year. So just a little bit of everything, just enough to keep us busy.
Okay, so that Branch Springs you were telling us about, that's out towards Grovetown, just outside the city limits?
Yep, just south of the Gateway interchange there, where the commercial development, the hospital and all that. It'll be just south of that, between there and the city limits of Grovetown. There's a collector road that the taxpayers voted on and approved, so that's part of that project, is to build that road first. It'll connect from Chamberlain Road to Horizon South, and then with a roundabout kind of in the middle of that site, and then head up to Gateway Boulevard and connect right there behind the Chick-fil-A and the Aldi's.
That'd be great.
Yeah, it'll help alleviate some of that traffic congestion on the south side of the interstate.
So that was an example of the county working on a project and then a developer coming in and working around as well. So looking forward to next year, I know you got a big project you're working on, our comprehensive planning document that we use. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so every 5 years we do a comprehensive plan, which is our vision document for the county. That is basically where we are, what we are going to do, and how we're going to get there. And we're looking for a lot of public feedback. So in the coming weeks, we will put out a schedule of kind of what we anticipate to be, kind of the months at which we'll be looking for public involvement. We'll be meeting with folks in the community, in different parts of the community. We're going to try and get out in the community and get some of that in public involvement, and looking for feedback, looking for things that the community wants to see, things they don't want to see, gather as much of that information as we can, and then we'll begin to write the plan with our consultants towards the end of 25.
That'd be great. Yeah, a lot of public involvement. We want to hear your thoughts, your opinions. We definitely need that input from you. So keep an eye out for those meetings. We'd love to have you come out and tell us what you think about our growth and how you think it should be. Yep. So Paul, once Scott's division works on getting the plans to the Planning Commission, to the Board of Commissioners, you get your team involved with the vertical development. So tell us what you've been working on this year.
Right. Yeah, as soon as, like I said, Scott's people get everything in place and we move forward on that, it really opens up a lot for us on the commercial and residential side of work, on which leads to the numbers increase that we've seen over this past year. We're up about 25% on the residential side and probably about 12% on the commercial side. Like you said, with all that growth that comes in, that planning works through up front, it gives us that opportunity it gives the developers a lot of opportunity to build out some of that commercial growth, and then following that, the residential rooftops come in play. With that, like I said, there's a lot of work with the inspectors in the field taking on all those additional inspections that will follow suit with that, as well as the plan reviews that we do in-house here. We've seen a good bit of commercial, because commercial fluctuates a good bit depending on rooftops. So we have seen, like I said, that uptick in the commercial side of things. We've seen, even over here in the town center area, we've seen the premier apartments, come online, and those starting to fill up as well. And then the commercial, the retail part of that is coming online. You've got a tavern starting in there, and another a sandwich shop on the other end of that little part of that little development there. And then in the Mayball building, we have another tavern going in there that's in the process of being constructed. A lot of good growth throughout the county. On the Westlake side, Westlake Commons, just an entrance off of Fears Ferry, we've got good development going on there. Got another restaurant looking to open up. We got some plans on that we're reviewing now. Look forward to all the growth. We've got, of course, the hospital still growing out there. They've made really good progress there throughout 24. And as everybody knows, and everybody's been dealing with the hurricane, Permits increased about 30-some-odd% since the hurricane, based on a lot of repair work that's been done. A lot of the residential builders, as well as some of the commercial, have got into putting some of their stuff on hold in order to get into helping the citizens out, so, which has been truly beneficial for us all to get everybody back to rolling as quickly as possible. So we're looking forward to a good 2025.
Yeah, great. Man, I'm excited. I heard you say 4 new restaurants there.
Yeah.
You just about 4, 3 in the town center area here and 1 off of Furious Ferry. And from what I understand, 3 of those 4 are not chain style restaurants.
That's
Those are kind of unique to our area. So
that is correct.
that's awesome. Looking forward to that. So thank you for what y'all's teams do. Without y'all working hard every day, we wouldn't see the managed growth that we're having. So thank you for what you do. I'm here with Mike Zahner, who's the manager of our Stormwater Operations Department, and we're out here on the pass. Behind us we have one of the projects you recently completed. So tell us a little bit about what you had going on behind us.
Yeah, Matt, this is one of the projects we identified during our MS4 inspections as a possible road failure. It took about a year to come up with a plan to do this project, and then we started the project. It's a replacement of existing 114-inch double run of CMP pipe, and we replaced it with a 24 by 11 foot bottomless arch culvert.
So CMP pipe, that's corrugated metal piping.
Metal pipe.
We got a lot of that in the county.
We do, yes.
And tell us the problems with it.
So the problem with it is just age. You know, it's a metal pipe. It's in the water. Different acids in the soil tend to corrode it. It's just like everything else. It's got a lifespan.
Got a lifespan, and the constant friction of the sand running through the bottom of the pipes, the acids, the water, the rust, just they have a lifespan, and we got to repair them. And you went with a bottomless culvert here, so now the water's flowing on natural ground.
That's right. Yeah. So we don't have to worry about that.
So tell us about some other projects. I know we are in Miramar also. So what'd you do there?
So we're over in Miramar. We had an existing drainage ditch that was approximately 1,700 foot long. It's badly eroded. It's been there since the early 70s, I believe, and trees were falling in it. It was clogged up, causing flooding issues and erosion issues. So we were able to go in and actually pipe this drainage ditch. And the good thing about that project is that was property that the homeowners owned that they didn't even know they owned. So we were able to enclose the ditch, put in weird traps to catch the waters coming from the yards, and a lot of the property owners were able to get 30 to 50 foot of property that they didn't even know they owned to use.
You had to reclaim the property they owned and just never had use of because of a ditch that was there. What are the kind of projects we're doing throughout the county? I know you got a maintenance crew that's out there every day just maintaining things. What do they do?
We got a maintenance crew that goes out and we do the projects inside the neighborhoods. This year they replaced almost a mile of storm drain pipe, and that's going in yards, replacing sod, removing fences, putting fences back up. So they're pretty tedious projects. We also have a big project over here at Butterfield Court that once it's complete, it's going to help with some of the flooding issues. It's a big detention pond that we expanded that's going to hold water and let it release in a timely manner during these big rain events. We've got several other projects. We've got over 4,000 foot of CMP pipe again that we're UV lining over in Pheasant Run. So we've got a lot of resources and we're trying to use them wisely.
So the UV lining, you're basically pulling a new liner through that, so you don't have to dig, you don't have to dig up old pipe. You pull a liner through it and you cure it in place, and basically have a new pipe inside of the old existing pipe.
We do, and once it's completed, the old CMP pipe, it's actually just a host at that point. It can totally rot away, and it doesn't. At that point, it doesn't even matter anymore. That UV lining is the actual pipe.
Right. So. Mike, I know you have a big crew that's out there every day doing a lot of work in the Stormwater Utility District, and we appreciate all you do. I know that we've come a long way with your department in a few short years. So thank you for everything you do. Appreciate your hard work. Everything you do for the county is much appreciated. So as you can see, we've had a very busy 2024, and 2025 is shaping up to be just as busy. So our staff's out here working hard for you every day. We hope that you're seeing some of the improvements, and we look forward to everything we're going to accomplish next year. Thanks for watching.